It's that time of the week where I will count down another 10 of my top 100 albums of the years between 2000 and 2009, which I have right here in front of me. But I also have right here in front of me because this situation that we're in makes me drink more. It's not big or clever, but oh so good. There we are. So yeah, we are in the top 20. It's exciting for me and maybe a couple of you. So let's get to it. That was a 90s album. 20. I'm never sure which way this goes round. 20. Arcade Fire Funeral. Arcade Fire are one of the few bands that me and my brother both like. And when they tour, I buy a ticket and say, yeah, sort it out, you're coming along. Because I know he'll enjoy it, but he's just not very dynamic. And he'll never watch this video, so I can say what I like about him. Arcade Fire Funeral, absolutely stunning album, absolutely stunning band. They're full of depth and emotion, and they're so clever, and they're so talented, and they can all play all their instruments, and they're so passionate. It's wonderful. And it has the singles, I think. They've all got weird names. So I think Tunnels, Neighbourhood 1 Tunnels, Neighbourhood 3 Power Out was definitely a single. Wake Up, oh, Wake Up. Rebellion, brackets, Lies, also a single. And my favourite track off this one would be, this is so troubling. I'm going to get to really troubling places here with these albums because I'm in love with every single one of these albums. I'm in love with loads of the ones that have gone by as well, but as we get closer to the top, I'm even more in love. Because hearing Tunnels performed live, even listening to it on record, is just like, oh, my heart, and like, I'll get a bit teary. But also, Wake Up with its arms in the air. You can't see arms. I'm like the Venus de Milo. Tunnels or Wake Up. I'm not choosing. I am not choosing. It's my game. It's my rules. 19th favourite album of that decade. Friendly Fires by Friendly Fires. Again, I mean, am I going to go through all these and say each of these albums has made me cry in some way? Because Paris by Friendly Fires is just one of my favourite albums ever. I explain to people how it affects me, and if there's a few songs that affect me this way, and there are so many good memories attached to that song that they all go into my head at the same time, and I just get really overwhelmed. And if I'll be singing along and all these memories are flooding at once, and I kind of go, don't cry, in a really dramatic way. But there were singles. Skeleton Boy, amazing. Jump in the Pool, amazing. This hasn't got it on it, but Kiss of Life was on the reissue of this album. Kiss of Life, amazing. But Paris, beautiful. What an album. I love Friendly Fires. If you've never seen Friendly Fires live, you have to, because Ed, they're all brilliant, but Ed is an amazing showman. And I believe that I have just done 2 albums in a row which feature male vocalists. Let's ruin that, shall we? 18, Madonna, Music. Look at Madonna. I was going to say look at her without the filters, but who am I fooling? We got Music, we got Don't Tell Me, we got What It Feels Like for a Girl, and we got American Pie in the UK. I don't think it was on the American one. Was this the last Madonna album that I absolutely adored? Probably was. Yeah, because I like Confessions, but I adore this one. This is like beginning to end brilliant, and my favourite track off this would be, It's Troubling Again. What It Feels Like for a Girl is definitely the best song on here. Music is the most song on here. I love Impressive Instant because it's just a bit out there as well. What It Feels Like for a Girl will be my pick for my number 18. 17, curveball for you, because about 3 people have heard of this album. Stopping for beer. Because it's important. This is Believer by Right, so my brother's just sent me a message that's made me laugh. It featured the brand Anusol, whatever. Anyway, made me laugh. It was the word anus, and I'm childish. Raisa, Believer. Sorry, Raisa, I just anused all over your tribute. My 17th favourite album of that decade, and nobody knows it. From the first time I heard the track "Walk Right Through," and listen to it but can't say it. I was just like, oh my god, that voice, that song is extremely lush, very comforting sound. It's followed up with a single, How Long Do I Get, which got a bit of airplay at the time. Sorry, but because I've been drinking the beer. But again, wall-to-wall gorgeousness from this one, and nobody really knows it. A couple of people might know it. I urge you to go out and check out Believer by Raisa, because it's stunning. That was my 17th favourite album of the decade, and there's two albums. That album and another album are like that in my brain because I found them both at the same time. One was Raisa's Believer, and the other one right next to it was Emiliana Torini's Love in the Time of Science. Again, exactly the same thing. It's that this was more successful, and Emiliana has more of a career out of it. For if you don't know, she's had other albums on this countdown. She sang the theme tune at the end of the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. She wrote Kylie Slow. She's an extremely good performer. I've talked about her before, and in between each of her songs, she does little lovely stories about it. There's brilliant stories she told, and I'm going to tell it wrong, and it's not going to be as funny, but it amused me a great deal because again, it's about toilets. That she was in a toilet and she saw some graffiti she liked, because we all see graffiti in toilets and we go, looks quite amusing, and she took a picture of it, but because it went, the person in the cubicle next to her started saying that she was taking a picture of her, and I'm not talking about the music here. Easy, Unemployed in Summertime, and To Be Free were the singles off this. But again, it's one of those albums you listen to the whole way through, and it's just eventful and gorgeous throughout. And she has this really, really cool singing voice. She's half Icelandic, half Italian, so you get the really you don't get those accents in it. It's just great. Have a listen to it. Emiliana Torini, Love in the Time of Science. That's my 16th favourite album of the decade. 15th favourite album of the decade, Moloko, Things to Make and Do. Took a while to embed itself in my brain here. Lead single was of course The Time Is Now, unless you count Sing It Back, but Sing It Back was on I Am Not a Doctor, but then the remix of Sing It Back is on this, bolted on at the end. Kind of fits, kind of doesn't. Time Is Now, Pure Pleasure Seeker, Indigo, singles off this, and again, beginning to end, it's quirky pop goodness. And my favourite track off this would have to be Indigo, with its chant of Ramses Colossus. But this is one of those, oh, the burps, I'm so sorry, it's the beer. I don't drink a lot of beer generally. It's only when we're in an earth-shattering crisis that I drink this much beer. If you have a cross to bear, you may as well use it as a crutch. Is also a great song off this album. I'm going to put this back in its protective sleeve because that is an original pressing. And then when I got that one, that's when they reissued it. 14. Are we at 14? I've not had to have a recount yet. Yeah, 14. I am doing well. It must be the beer. 14. Saint Etienne, Sound of Water. Featuring the singles Boy Is Crying, Heart Failed in the Back of a Taxi, and How We Used to Live. Little bit, still Saint Etienne's pop gorgeousness, with a little bit of German techno in the mix, sort of dialed down in the mix, but you can hear it, it's there. And I don't know how to describe this one. Because it's kind of understated and quite gentle and strokey of the ear. Some people will know I'm talking about, some people won't. But like the tracks Sycamore, Don't Back Down, and just a little Overcome. Those three together sound fantastic, and I want to listen to it, and I might make that one of my listening pile tomorrow. So that is my 14th, 13th favourite album of the decade. Unlucky for some, but not unlucky for Garbage, with Beautiful Garbage. It didn't follow up on the success of their previous two albums, and I do not understand why, because it took what they had and they pushed it further. And it had a run of amazing singles from Androgyny, Cherry Lips, brackets, Go Baby Go, Breaking Up the Girl, and Shut Your Mouth. That was the song title, Not Me Being Rude. And I also loved the song Parade on this one, with this, oh, you'd know if you heard it. But my favourite track has got to be Androgyny. I like the sentiment, I like the beat, I like its delivery. Shirley Manson is a goddess, and look how amazing this cover is. It's a rose that goes out. Beautiful Garbage by Garbage, my 13th favourite album of the millennium years. 12. I'll do no record of this because I've been listening to it. PJ Harvey, Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea. In exactly the same way as it's lush and powerful as any of these ones. This is lush and powerful and raw. And this unfortunately is a bootleg. I can't lie, it's really hard to get hold of on vinyl, but it's a bootleg copy of it. Singles, Good Fortune, A Place Called Home, Is This Love? And actually I was listening to A Place Called Home, and the lyrics are really resonate about the situation we're in right now. One day there'll be a place for us, and it made me feel, yeah, I feel affirmed by that. Yes, Polly, I believe one day we'll come back home, people. And elsewhere, I mean, tracks like Kamikaze. Where's this Wicked Tongue? Oh, there's this Wicked Tongue not on this. I did not know this. How rude. And The Horse Hustler and The Hustler's Whore, also a great track. And the cool thing about The Horse Hustler and The Hustler's Whore is that when she did that collaboration with Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, he sang it, and it sounds great when he sings it as well. Oh, Kamikaze, amazing track. I think this is Love is my favourite track off this one. Ooh. 11, just missing out in the top 10, Faithless, Outrospective. Again, Faithless are one of the best acts you can ever see live. They give so much in their performance. You just can't help but get whipped up in the frenzy of jumping up and down to these songs. Again, beginning to end, it takes you through highs and lows, peaks and troughs, and it always reassures you. Maxi Jazz comments on life as it is and as it was back then, and way back then when I was young. Yeah, Weekend One, the whole of Weekend One, epic. One of the best songs ever made. Weekend One is my favourite off this, but there isn't even one song I even slightly dislike on this. And I said to myself that, because there's a track on this, Muhammad Ali, and I thought that would make me give a shout out, granted it was weeks ago, I thought about this, to my Auntie Alison, or Auntie Ali. Hi Auntie Ali, because she always watches these videos, and lots of love to Auntie Ali. Just thought I'd do that because it's fun. Right, okay, so that's 20 through to 11. Cheers. Happy lockdown day to UK people. Happy lockdown day whatever you're on in whatever country you're in. And if you're watching this out and about, licking people's faces or whatever you're doing, don't do that.